Good morning, everyone. They tell a story about this couple that was celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. And she gets up, the wife, to make a toast. And she says, first of all, I want to say l'chaim to myself for surviving 50 years of marriage. But I want you to know that our 50 years of marriage felt like 2 days. And everyone was like, wow, so romantic. 50 years felt like 2 days. But then one person says, why 2 days? Why not like 1 day? And she said, it felt like 2 days. Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av, which is the two toughest days on the Jewish calendar. Well, all jokes aside, our rabbis tell us that this season that we're beginning, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot, is all about our marriage to God. You see, the question is, why did God create the world in the first place? Yes, Rosh Hashanah is the anniversary of the creation of the world, and specifically mankind, Adam and Eve. But why did God set out to create the world? And our rabbis explain with the metaphor of a bachelor. The most accomplished, perfect bachelor in the world cannot get married to themselves. They need someone outside of themselves to have a relationship with. And therefore, as omnipresent and as perfect as God is, He needed human beings to have a relationship with. And therefore, He created us to be in a loving relationship with us. And that's why this month of Elul is an acronym for I am unto my beloved and my beloved is unto me. Because this holiday season is all about renewing our vows and our relationship with God. During the month of Elul, we blow the shofar. God, who's the king, is in the field, which means that we are dating God. It's the courtship. Rosh Hashanah, when we come to shul, is God's marriage proposal to us. And we blow the shofar, which is our resounding yes. We accept your marriage proposal. We want to renew our vows for the coming year. Yom Kippur is the wedding day. That's why we dress in white like a bride. And then Sukkot is the wedding reception, celebration, and party for 7 days of the holiday of Sukkot. And therefore, when we go to shul on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and Sukkot during this month, we should realize we're celebrating the beautiful relationship with God. There are all different types of marriages. You're in a marriage with God. Celebrate the marriage. Celebrate the love. And appreciate the union and the intimacy and the oneness that we can experience with our beloved every single day. They tell a story about this elderly man whose wife unfortunately had dementia. And she was in a nursing home. And every day he would get up early, take a few buses, go to the nursing home, dress her, comb her hair, feed her breakfast. One day there was a snowstorm and the weather conditions were terrible. And he got up. And he dressed himself, and he put on his coat and his boots and his scarf, and he went out in the frigid weather, this elderly man, and took one bus and a second bus, and finally he arrived an hour late to the nursing home, and the nurses were shocked to see him, and they said, Mr. Goldberg, why did you come out in this weather? He says, what do you mean? I need to dress my wife, I need to feed her breakfast. And one of the nurses foolishly said, Mr. Goldberg, in this weather you could have stayed home. We would take care of your wife, even if you don't come. And after all, she said, it's not like she recognizes you anyways. And this elderly man looks at the nurse and says, she may not recognize me. She may not know who I am, but I still know who she is. God says to each and every one of us, we are in a loving union, in a marriage. I created you. I love you. And whether or not you have recognized me in the past year, whether or not you have acknowledged me, whether or not you have celebrated me, I still recognize you. You are my beloved. And therefore God says, come to shul on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Let's renew our vows and let's celebrate our love, our oneness, and our affinity and divine connection that we have